Hello and welcome to another St Andrews Wargaming Warhammer 40,000 battle report. Today I'm going to be playing with my Genestealer Cult against Chris with his Space Wolf army. Say hi there, Chris.
Hey.
This is Chris's first time on the channel. I've not had a report in a few months now. Apologies for that, real life has sort of got in the way, but I'm back now. And today we're going to be playing one of the chapter approved 2018 missions, which I haven't played yet, and this is Visions of Victory. And this is where you get 4 cards per turn, and each time you have to draw a new card, you draw 2 and your opponent picks 1 that you have to achieve, and the other one goes back in your deck, so it can be achieved in future games. So this could be an interesting one where you could really hamper your opponent. I believe that the first 4 are drawn randomly and don't.
You draw up to 4 a turn, but each one you draw 2 and the opponent picks 1.
So even on the first turn?
Even on the first turn.
Even on the first turn. So, as you can see, we've placed some of the objectives. We'll go through this in more detail later, but we're playing on my City Fight board, which is pretty much my only board at the moment, so I need to really get started on a new one. But we'll take you through the armies. We're playing 2,000 points, Genestealer Cult versus Space Wolves. So here we have my 2,000 points Genestealer Cult army, and this will take the form of 2 battalion detachments and 1 vanguard detachment to give me 14 command points in total. I've been trying, I haven't had too many games with the cult, so I'm trying out most of the cult creeds, and today is going to be the Twisted Helix, which gives most of the army +1 strength and +2 to their advance rolls. So I'm going to try this out. That'll make all my acolytes strength 5, which will give them a big boost in combat. It will take my aberrants up to strength 10 with their hammers, so they'll be really good at taking vehicles, and it'll even put my neophyte hybrids up to strength 4. Unfortunately, because of the cult creeds, they don't have an effect on the Genestealers or the Patriarch, so they're going to be stuck at their regular strength. So, looking at my HQ units, in 1 battalion I have my Patriarch, who must be my Warlord, and he has got Might from Beyond, Psychic Power, Mental Onslaught, Psychic Power, and he has also taken the Bioalchemist Warlord trait, which gives him +1 damage to his weapons, so that will be quite good for his Monstrous Rending Claws. And for his relic, I've also gone for the Elixir of the Prime Specimen, which gives him +1 attack, +1 toughness, and +1 wound, taking him up to toughness 6, 7 wounds, and 7 attacks. Because, as I said, unfortunately, he does not benefit from the Cult Creed, so he won't get the +1 strength inherently. For my other characters, I have 2 Primus. One of them has taken the Alien Majesty Warlord trait, which gives me +3 inches on his effective aura abilities. And the reason I can do this is I'm going to spend 1 CP on the Brood Coven stratagem, which allows me to take a Patriarch, a Primus, and a Magus, and each give them a Warlord trait. So the Primus in orange is going to be the one with the 9-inch range for his aura abilities. The other Primus is just a standard. The Orange Magus is going to take Focus of Adoration Warlord trait, allowing any nearby units to heroically intervene if they're near him. And he will be taking Psychic Stimulus and Might from Beyond. The other Magus will be taking Mass Hypnosis and Psionic Blast to give me a chance to do mortal wounds. I've also got the Acolyte Icon Ward, who I haven't given the relic icon because I want to save the command points, and also my army gets +1 strength anyway, taking most of them up to strength 5 for the acolytes, and giving them +1 strength to go to strength 6 really won't have an effect against most units. So for the troops, for my battalions, I've got 4 units of acolyte hybrids. 3 have got the heavy rock weapons, so 2 rock drills, 2 rock cutters and 2 rock saws. 1 unit has 4 demolition charges. because using the stratagems you can get really powerful combinations of stratagems to allow these to use them on the turn they arrive from reserve. Essentially you're throwing 4d6 battle cannon shots at the enemy army, which, as Chris said, is not fun. He's been on the receiving end of that before.
I mean, he nearly lived it, to be fair. He did roll pretty bad, but last time he snuck up behind my Thunderfire cannon and blew the tech bridge.
Yeah, so in one of the recent written battle reports, I did essentially target a Tech Marine with all 4 demolition charges, and he was pretty much obliterated with the Thunderfire cannon. I really need to get another unit of these guys painted up, because for only 90 points, they are worth their weight in gold for the damage they can do. The other battalion sees me taking 3 units of neophyte hybrids. I've got 1 with shotguns and 2 flamers, and then 2 with a mining laser and grenade launcher. For filling out the rest of the battalions, I've got a unit of mortars, heavy weapons teams. I've got a Goliath rock grinder with a clearance incinerator and a heavy stubber. I've got a Goliath truck with a twin autocannon, heavy stubber, and a cache of demolition charges. And I've got 2 scout sentinels, basically because I had 100 points left over and really didn't have anything else to take. 1 with las cannon, 1 with missile launcher. For my vanguard, I've got 2 units of 15 Genestealers, because these guys are awesome in this army. And I've got a unit of 5 aberrants with the heavy rock hammers. So this will be my anti-armor punching unit with the, I believe with the Cult Creeds, they got strength 6 base, so they're going to be strength 12.
That's going to do really good against my no vehicles.
Yes, against his no vehicle. But
in general, no, it's a good idea.
But the other thing is, I can also use the special Twisted Helix stratagem, which allows them to fight again for 3 CP, which is the only unit can do this in the army, unfortunately. I would love a Genestealers attack again stratagem. Plus, with the Acolyte Icon mod, they can reroll Bestial Vigor rolls of 1, and I've also got another stratagem that can take their Bestial Vigor up to 4+. So, I do have some of the new characters to help boost out the Genestealer Cult, some of the new ones in the Codex. However, I'm still in the process of making and painting them. Once I do, I think some of these Cult Creeds will become a bit more useful, certainly with the Twisted Helix, when I get that special character out. But for the moment, this is just my standard Cult army, and I'm going to see how I do with the +1 strength. So, hunting the Space Wolves on a 3+, I think will help me a lot in combat. And we'll see how this goes.
It's going to be a bit of rocket tag, I think.
Yep.
Space Wolves get a jump on you, you don't like it, but if you jump me.
Yep. If I can do the attacking first, we'll see how it goes. So that's the Cult army. We'll come back to you with the Space Wolves. So here we have Chris's 2,000 points of Space Wolves, consisting of a battalion, a vanguard, and a spearhead. So do you want to talk us through your army?
Yep, so in the battalion first, we've got a Rune Priest, just a normal Rune Priest with Runic Axe, Plasma Pistol, and Runic Armour. And he's got Storm Cooler and Tempest Wrath, which is like -1 to hit and cover power. Then I've got the second HQ is a Wolfguard Battle Leader with a Power Fist and Storm Shield, just a lieutenant basically. Then we've got the 3 troops. We've got a unit of 6 normal Blood Claws with a Power Fist on the Sergeant, and then a Wolfguard in there with a Frostblade, which is a Strength 5 Power Sword. Then we've got 2 identical units of Grey Hunters, both 5-man normals, Power Axe on the normal Sergeant, a Plasma Gun in each, and then a Terminator Pack Leader with a Frostblade and a Storm Bolter in each unit as well. So that's the battalion. And move on to the Vanguard over here. So we've got the Warlord here is a Wolf Lord in Terminator armour, and he's got a Wolf Claw and a Thunderhammer. And he's got the Wolfenstone and the Saga of the Wolfkin, which means he's rocking 6 attacks. He gives everyone within 3 inches an extra attack, and if he kills 5 models, he then gives everyone within 6 inches an extra attack as well.
Nice.
So I don't think the extra attacks affect the Wolfen. That's the one thing they don't affect, because it's about everyone else getting the Curse of the Wolfen, but they already have it because they're bonkers. But apart from that, it pretty much affects everybody. Then we've got a Rune Priest in Terminator armour with a Runic Sword and Frost Fury, which is the Relic Stormbolter, so I paid an extra command point for 1 extra relic. which is quite a nice Storm Bolter. It's assault and it can do mortal wounds occasionally. And it's flat 2 damage and stuff. And he's got Runic Terminator armor as well, so he's got 5 up the other Rune Priest, and the Terminator one gets a 4 up invulnerable, which is really good for most Libbies don't get any, so that's really nice. Then the elites in that unit, we've got a unit of 5 Wolfguard Terminators. The champion's got Chain Fist, everyone else has got Power Fist, and they've all got Storm Bolters. So obviously, new beta bolter rules mean they're quite a bit better, and they're cheaper now. It's only 172 points that unit. It's pretty good. Then we've got Unit 5 Wolfen, who are equipped really unoptimally indeed, but that's because they're the old models, and I really do like the old models, and I bulk them out a bit with the Wolves, so they look alright on 40mm bases. So the champion, which is the one with the chainsword and the light silverback wolf, has the frost claws, but only because he has to have them. You can't give him anything else. And the others just have the normal Wolfen claws, which means they're just base strength 5, they have -1 AP, and just their normal 3 attacks. So
it's
they're not
really not going to make a big difference against the Genestealers.
They could have more attacks, yeah. But against the Cult, it's actually not too bad. Normally, you'd want Thunderhammer Storm Shields because they're just better, but the unit's actually quite cheap this way. And although they get shot off the table against Cult, that's less of an issue usually.
Yeah.
Then I've got a Company Ancient just with a bolt gun. That's the banner guy. And then I've got 2 units of Wolf Scouts. One of them has got a Sergeant with a Power Sword, a Melter Gun, 3 shotguns, and a Wolfguard Pack Leader with a Storm Bolter and Frostblade. The other one has got a Sergeant with a Plasma Pistol, another guy with a Plasma Pistol, and a guy with a Plasma Gun. And then they've all got Combat Blades and Bolt Pistols on the other ones. Because Wolf Scouts get weird. They don't get the Infiltrate, but they get weird unit composition. They can have special weapons in weird ways. So it's quite a lot of plasma. And then a Wolfguard Pack Leader with a Plasma Pistol and Wolf Claw there. So that's 5 plasma shots coming out from the side. It's quite funny.
Which you'll need for all my super armour on
true.
the Cult.
And then we have a Spearhead attachment here at the back, so that's led by another Wolfguard Battle Leader, so another Lieutenant with just a Frost Axe. Then we've got a unit of Long Fangs here with 4 Heavy Bolters, the Sergeant's got nothing, and a Terminator with Wolf Claw and Assault Cannon. Then we've got another one to the back right, which is another unit of Long Fangs, Terminator with Assault Cannon Power Fist, 2 Plasma Cannons and a Plasma Gun on the Sergeant. And then we've got the last unit of Long Fangs, which is 2 missiles, a las cannon, and a Terminator with a Cyclone, Chain Fist, and Storm Bolter, and that's the list.
Yeah, because you're playing WYSIWYG, there's quite a lot of plasma in this army, which probably not the most effective against the Cult, but it should be able to cause a fair bit of damage.
And there's a few melee weapons that are probably better out swap for other things, but it's what I had, and it's quite a cool little army. It does all right, but yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it should hopefully lead to a fun competitive game, not a one-sided smashing. For one. So just as a reminder, the chapter tactic for the Space Wolves is +1 to hit anytime you charge, are charged, or perform a heroic intervention. So this means that most units are hitting on a 2+, whereas the Terminators are still hitting with their Power Fists on a 3+, which is pretty damn good.
And all the characters get a 6-inch heroic intervention bubble, which can be quite useful for blocking stuff.
Need to remember about that
you need to
as
be careful,
well.
because occasionally you'll park like 5 inches away from a guy and he'll just jump you.
Yep, so that's the Space Wolves. We'll take you now through deployment and the mission, objectives, and who's going to get the first turn. Those are the armies that are going to be playing, and we rolled off to place the objectives. As you can see here, we have objective number 2 in this central building, objective number 4 beside that, 5 in the middle, 6 over by the ruins on the far side, objective 1 near that, and objective 3 all the way over here. We also rolled, as you can see, quite heavily favoured on one side. And then, fortunately for me, I won the roll-off for...
Well, it would have been okay if it had been like a standard, but it was just because it was one of the Endways ones.
Yeah, so
otherwise it'd been alright. But...
So I won the roll-off and got Spearhead Assault, choosing this side with most of the objectives clustered. I must say that all the objectives being clustered together was Chris's fault, not mine.
No, it's more my fault.
So I'm being gamey and won the roll-off, but it does mean he gets to deploy first and potentially choose first turn.
And I do have a bit of outflanking, so I can come on behind your...
That's true. You'll have some good
stuff.
outflanking units. Not as much as me, though.
No, that's true. I can't outdo the cult on that.
But he will be sitting on one objective to start with, so unless he gets some really good card draws, he's going to have to come to me to get the objectives, which I think was his plan anyway for most of the units. So we'll come back to you in a minute with the deployment for both armies, which is going to be really exciting for the Genestealer Cults.
There's some dots.
With some dots all around. Space Wheels deployed first. Gathering up in the centre of the deployment here, we have a unit of Longfangs up in the building, another unit of Longfangs down here, another unit of Longfangs with the Ancient and the Rune Priest.
No, Battle Leader.
Battle Leader. Another Battle Leader?
That's the Rune Priest.
That's the Rune Priest, sorry, so he'll be able to use the Intercept. And some Grey Hunter squads, so leaving me lots of space to ambush, but he also has quite a few units in reserve himself that can come on from outflank. So that is castled up quite nicely in the centre against. And here we can see the Genestealer Cult army deployed, which I can see. I've spent a command point on scanner decoys to give me an extra 3 blip counters, based on whether I go first or second. So here you can see I've spread the counters pretty much across the battlefield, my deployment zone. Not really sure that I needed the extra counters because there's very limited places for things to go, but maybe that stratagem's not as useful on the short deployment zones, but on the long deployment zones you can maybe do a refused flank of some kind. So the Wolf Guard, or sorry, not the Wolf Guard, the Long Fangs at the top here, maybe I'll be able to restrict some line of sight if I deploy close enough to this central building, but if I don't get first turn, I've got at least 2 tons of firepower to weather. My only hope will be that I can get some decent objectives that aren't too far from my deployment zone, so that I can get them, and most of them, and restrict Chris's ones. Hopefully he won't pull objective 3. Or even you might struggle to get objective 2. So, with that deployment, do you want to go first or second?
I'm going to try and go first.
Going to try and go first. I am going to try and seize, because if I can only go for 1 ton of Space Wolf firepower, I will. So, can I seize the initiative? No, I do not. That's a 3. So, we'll come back to the first turn for the Space Wolves. After his deployment, or after his first movement phase, I'll need to deploy my forces, so I can have a think about where they're going to go to try and minimise the firepower of the Space Wolves. So we'll see how long the Cult can hold out, because his reserves may come in before mine and cause me a few issues. So if I don't get tabled on turn 2, we can...
I very much doubt that.
Yeah.
But the plan is to come up behind you to force some of your reserves to have to go back to your deployment zone. Because if you only have the neophytes in the back line, the Wolfen and the Scouts will shred them.
Yeah.
You'll need something a bit heavier to hold it.
Yeah, that's one thing to think of, is whether or not I commit reserves to... Well, whether I need to commit reserves to go after his objectives, or I can... although I don't think I can ignore this gun line for most of the game. I will need to take care of them, either by stopping them from shooting for a turn or 2, or actually killing them with some of my own reserves. So this should be an interesting battle. I've got all the objectives, pretty much, but he has got a lot of reserves to come in, so my normal trick of being the one with all the reserves and the funny deployment may not work out as well. So we'll see how this goes. We'll come back to you with Space Wolves turn 1. These are the cards that Chris drew for Space Wolves turn 1. So, defend objective 1 and no prisoners. I'm going to make him take defend objective 1 because he's not getting that this turn. And no prisoners he'll probably get with his firepower. Hunt with Cunning was destroy at least 1 enemy unit or mission critical objective. I think I'll go for mission critical because he's got a 1 in 6 chance of rolling objective 3. But that's only 1 point. Defend 3 or Blood and Guts. I will go with Blood and Guts, which may be a problem in future turns, but he's definitely sitting on 3. So Blood and Guts, he won't be able to score this turn, I imagine. And Heroes of Fenris or Defend Objective 4, I will go with Defend Objective 4. So that is the 4 cards. No prisoners, which... Oh no, sorry. Defend 1. Apologies.
Yep.
Defend objective 1. Mission critical, which... Do you want to roll for it?
The mission critical is going to be a 3, as we can see now.
Yep.
Just to, right here. No, 2. To be fair, 2 is the next closest.
2 is the next closest, but he's not getting it to this turn. Blood and Guts, which he's not going to get this turn, but could score big in future turns. And Defend Objective 4, which is in my quite close to my deployment zone. So, not a great set of cards. You'll probably get First Strike, unless I can hide everything, but I don't think I'll be able to in this deployment. Certainly not my vehicles are going to struggle to be hidden, but in all fairness, I don't know if you'll score any of these this turn. So this could be a low scoring turn for the Space Wolves. We'll come back to you with the movement phase and my subsequent deployment. End of the movement phase for the Space Wolves turn 1. The Long Fangs units and some of the Grey Hunters moved up. This Battle Leader, is it? Here?
That guy, yeah.
Yeah, Battle Leader advanced here. So just moving out a bit to get some line of sight and into the cover. I then deployed my army at the end of the phase using... They came from below to remove 3 units. So I removed the 2 Magus units and an Acolyte unit, which I was deploying. That means I've got the 2 Genestealer units, both Magus, both Primus, the Patriarch, and all of the Acolytes in reserve now to come on. Able to use the line of sight blocking from the first building. We're using ITC rules, so the bottom floor of the ruins block line of sight. I can select put my Goliath Rock Grinder with the Aberrants and the Acolyte Icon Ward in the middle there. The Sentinel just behind them. 1 unit of Neophytes near the objective. They can advance onto it and also to block out some of my deployment zone. I put the Mortar teams and the Lascan Sentinel at the back here, and the other unit of Neophyte hybrids beside the other objective, and again to limit the deep strike potential of the units. The only unit out in the open which is going to eat a las cannon and a few missile launcher shots is the Goliath truck with my shotgun and flamer Neophytes inside. Hopefully it might be able to survive.
Well, is that range of the Cyclone? Because I did get that pointed out that Cyclones, well they are quite good, are only 36.
Yeah, so it's out of the range of Cyclone, so it's going to have to eat a las cannon and at least 2 missiles. So maybe, if I get lucky, that will survive. Otherwise, that will give them first strike, because I don't think I've got anything else in line of sight. Pretty much.
There might be a few shots round the corner here, but not enough to kill anything.
I've hidden most of the army, so we'll see what the reserves can do. We'll go on to the psychic phase and the shooting phase for the Space Wolves turn 1. In the psychic phase, the only power you can really cast is Storm Caller, which gives a cover bubble nearby, and that needs a 8 to cast. Okay. Nope. Let's go. So that fails to go off. No other powers on range. So with that, we'll move straight into the shooting phase for the Space Wolves. And I'm guessing to start with...
Yeah, we'll start with the fairly easy thing, which is the las cannon and the 2 rockets and the long fangs shooting the truck over there.
Yep.
So because they're long fangs, they get to pick 1 target per turn to reroll 1s against, so they'll pick that. So if they split fire, they only get it against 1. But it means you basically don't have to have a captain babysitting them, which is quite nice.
So I think most of the firepower in this army will be going into my truck, which unfortunately I had to deploy in the open given my blip counters. I really couldn't hide it anywhere else. So we'll see if it can survive the firepower. So hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s.
Yep, so the yellow one is the las cannon, the other 2 are the rockets. So hitting on 3s, rolling 1s. So reroll the 1. My symbols are 1s.
That's
so
not
all
good.
Hit. It's toughness 6. So
toughness 6, so winding on 3s.
And there's a battle leader, lieutenant equivalent within 6. They're rerolling 1s on this as well. So unfortunately 2 twos.
So 2 miss. Do you want to use a CP on that?
That is a good question.
Decisions.
Yeah, I think I've got to use a CP.
Okay.
So on the last cannon 1, because it's -3.
Yep.
Goes 3. So 1 at -3 and 1 at -2.
So 1 at -3 goes straight through. No, I've got.
You got 4.
I've got 4 up armor on the truck. So then a 6 up.
Yep.
No, which I failed to save, so that's 2d6 damage going through.
Yep. So big numbers, so every roll would be nice. 7, not
7,
bad. That.
I get my 6 up save against these.
Because I've got a few heavy bolters and stuff to hopefully finish it off.
So 6 up save to see if I can block any of these. I block 4.
Oh, I'm not getting first strike then.
Damn, that was some good rolling. So that is only 3, after some phenomenal rolling, that is only 3 wounds.
Yep.
And a command point gone. So we'll do the rest of the shooting off camera and see if he can actually take out the Goliath truck. But after some brilliant rolling there, I'm hoping not.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to as well. I had some heavy bolts, but they probably won't finish it off now.
Rest of the space wheel shooting, the Longfang squad here with the plasma cans did overcharge and fired into the truck. Did manage to do a few wounds, so that's taken 7 wounds and it's down to 3. I didn't make any more 6-up saves. The squad here split their fire between the Sentinel and the Rock Grinder. Some really poor rolling from Chris saw the Sentinel survive unharmed, and 2 of the bolters that weren't in range of the Sentinel did manage to plink 1 wound off of the Rock Grinder. And the last unit of shooting is going to be this Longfangs unit to try and take the last 3 wounds of the truck. They're at -1 to hit. Chris decided not to spend the CP on the stratagem to allow them to ignore that. So he's just going to fire his 2 heavy bolters.
4 heavy bolters.
Sorry, 4 heavy bolters from where?
1, 2, 3, 4. Those 2 are the.
Oh right, sorry, I didn't see them. They look the box. So sorry, 4 heavy bolters to take 3 wounds from the truck, which is possible, but he is wounding on 5s. So let's see if he can finish it off and get first strike. So
hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s, since I put that at my target.
Just as
well. 1s, yep. So a decent number of hits.
Movement
just over half, so about right.
5s rerolling 1s.
5s rerolling 1s, yep. So
it's that's 3 wounds. That's enough to finish it off. So I'm -1, so I'm saving on 5s. I need at least 1 5 or 6 from these rolls
to get 1.
I get 1, so it is going to survive. And 2 6-ups. It takes 1 more wound. I've been doing some good rolling for this truck, so it's down to 2 wounds remaining. So it's probably going to die next time, but. Is that the end of your shooting phase?
Everything is in range, yeah.
That is the end of the shooting phase. There's going to be no assault, so that does deny first strike. And you don't score any cards this turn. Do you wish to discard
one? I will discard defend 4, because that's right at the back of your deployment zone, so I'll go with that.
Yeah, so he's going to discard defend 4, which is back here.
I do start defending 1. No, I don't start defending 1.
One's over there, so he is sitting on 3, but I discarded that one. So that, not an amazing turn for the space rules. The firepower wasn't as effective, but I do have another turn and a whole bunch of reserves to potentially weather before these come in. So we will see what the cult can do on the first turn. The firepower is not going to be great, I imagine, but we'll see what damage I can potentially do against them on my first turn. So we'll come back to you with what objectives I draw and which objectives Chris chooses for me to take on the Genestealer Cults turn 1. So the cards drawn for my first turn were Witch Hunter and no prisoners.
And you can keep Witch Hunter.
I imagine that because I've got less chance of doing that. Behind enemy lines or area denial.
I'm just going to check, but I think, I'm pretty sure my key's within 6 and a lot of stuff's within 12, so you can have area denial, because behind enemy lines, you wouldn't get this turn, but next turn you'd definitely get it.
Yep.
So.
Secure 1 and secure 4.
I think I'll make you secure 1, because at least it's coming towards me a little bit.
Yep,
so get that one,
we'll do secure 1. And assassinate or defend 2.
I think, actually defend 2, because assassinate probably will happen at some point, and defend 2 is another one that's quite close to me, and I quite like you sitting 12 inches away in front of me in bolt range.
That's fair enough. So for my cards for the first turn, I've got no prisoners, which I might be able to get if I get lucky. Area denial, which I'm probably not going to get.
Unless you get no prisoners as well, yeah.
Yeah. Secure objective 1, which I will get, I imagine.
Yep.
And defend objective 2, which is over here, which I'm unlikely to get this turn, but could get in subsequent turns. So if I can get first blood, I'll probably score a good few points here, but if I don't, I might just get objective 1, maybe. So we'll come back with my movement phase and see what I'm going to do with the cult this turn. The end of my movement phase, the Aberrants and the Acolyte Icon Ward jumped out of the truck, and that puts them, I think, in a 5-inch assault on the Grey Hunters, which I'm going to attempt to do, I think. I spent 1 CP on Devoted Crew, which allowed this unit to move as if it was unharmed. The reason I did this was I thought, it's probably going to die, but at least if I can move it up and it gets destroyed, I can hide my Neophytes here and possibly go up on the objective in subsequent turns. The Rock Grinder moved up towards this unit to perhaps assault them, and I advanced the Sentinel onto objective 1, so that will score me secure objective 1. I'll at least get 1 point this turn. The Sentinel moved out, more so to block reserves from coming in on this side. I think I've got a fairly decent bubble. I might actually move these Neophytes up to block off a bit more. I'll measure up and see if he can bring any reserves in here next to my Sentinel.
No, I can't fit there.
No, he's not going to be able to bring it in. So that blocks off a good range here. The Neophytes over here will probably just have to fend for themselves.
But I are getting jumped by something.
But I actually might move them up towards the objective, in which case I can at least block that off. He's still going to be able to bring them in here, close to my... Although keeping them here might keep my mortars safe, but probably not. So we'll roll up. I'll measure out and see what I can do in this situation. So that's my movement phase, no psychic phase. I'll come back to you with the shooting, which there will be very little, I'm afraid, but we'll see what I can do with the shooting phase. So after some debating, I did go up and advance this unit up a bit. I figured if I can hold this objective, the truck is blocking the deep strikers from coming in a bit, so maybe they'll survive. We'll start with the shooting phase. We will put the Rock Grinder into the
Grey Hunters.
Grey Hunters. I do have a cache of demolition charges here, which I forgot about, but I'm not going to be able to use them, so that's a bit waste. We'll put the Clearance Incinerator and the Heavy Stubber into the Grey Hunters here, and hopefully I can assault them and do some damage. So the Clearance Incinerator gets 3 shots. Do you know what? It's not worth the CP, I don't think. So that's Heavy Flamer, Strength 5, Wounding on 3s. That is 2 wounds at -1.
So I could take on the Terminator to keep the 2 up, but I think I'm just going to take them on normal guys.
Yes.
Don't want to risk the Terminator getting wounded. So 3 up saves because they're in cover. Both fine.
Yeah, they're fine. And the Heavy Stubber, hitting on 5s, gets nothing. So the cult shooting phase is as good as ever.
Yeah, got a couple of other things, but not much.
Yeah. The mortars, actually. I could probably target your wolf guy here, because he's the closest.
He's almost certainly closest to them, yeah.
And he is in cover, though.
Yeah.
But, you know what? I've got more... No, let's go after these guys, because if at least I kill one in combat, I can maybe do some damage to them. Yeah. And the chances of actually killing him off are remote.
Very
So, 3d6 shots. Again, brilliant rolling.
Not so hot.
Yeah, let's switch to the black dice, see if that does any benefits. So, hitting on 4s. Yeah, that's a bit better. And wounding on 4s with the mortars. That is 4 wounds at no minuses, so 4 2-ups.
4 2-ups.
Let's see a couple of 1s.
That's a cop 1 there.
That's cop 1.
So that's 1 does go down.
1 does go down, so that will at least help me out a bit with the Rock Grinder. We will put the las cannon into the...
That's probably 48, right?
Yeah, I don't think you've got range. So it's going to have to be the squad. I'll target everything at this squad, so hitting on 5s, I mean the chances of hitting are poor. Let's put the truck, may as well add its firepower. I'll put the twin autocannon into the guys here. And the Heavy Stubber if it is range.
It's 36.
It's 36, I believe it does then. Or is it 24?
No, it's 36.
It's 36. So twin autocannon hitting on 5s because I use my top profile, even though I'm wounded. That's 2 hits. 3s to wound. That is no wounds. Wow, my shooting's been phenomenal.
And the Stubber.
And the Stubber. That's 1 hit.
4.
And no wounds. That is an incredible turn of luck. Yeah. Let's put one pistol from the Icon Ward into the squad here, because regardless of who you remove, my charge is the same. Yeah. Pretty much. So he hits. He wins, actually.
3 up save on a normal dude. Yeah, so
he manages to kill one, actually. So, nah. So my incredible shooting phase has been pretty good so far. Oh, actually. Oh no, the squad inside, they've got shotguns. I don't think they've range.
Oh yeah, they've shotguns, they're not those.
No, we don't have 12 range. So with that is my lackluster, as always, shooting phase complete. We will go on to the charge phase. In the charge phase, the Aberrants declared a multi-charge on this unit of Grey Hunters here, and also the Wolfguard Battle Leader, because if I can reach him and kill him, that's area denial, at least once, or I've got some nice Twisted Helix.
You could probably heroically intervene anyway, so...
Yeah, I've got some nice Twisted Helix shenanigans I can play if I don't kill him. I forgot about your heroic intervention. And the Goliath truck also declared a multi-charge against the unit of Grey Hunters and the Wolfguard Battle Leader. And the Icon Ward is also going to go in as well. So, I'll roll up my charges now. I need a 5-inch charge against the Wolfguard with the Aberrants. Yeah, 7, that's enough. And the Icon Ward is a 3, is going to miss. And the Rock Grinder is a 7, that's enough to get in.
Both or both?
I will see. If I can stop you heroically, maybe I'll do both, because if I can stop you heroicing against the Aberrants, I can at least do some damage and hopefully get first blood.
They did take 1 wound at Overwatch.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Overwatch fire. The Aberrants took a single wound, and the truck Rock Grinder was absolutely fine. And this, we did check, he's just out of 12-inch range, so no charges and no shooting from them. So we'll move in and come to you with the combat. First combat, I'm going to go with the Aberrants in case Chris decides to interrupt, because he could do a bit of damage to these guys actually, because they're not the toughest. So we've got 11 attacks. I forgot that I don't have any Primuses in or anything, so I am hitting on 4s. Although we're discussing there, I could use the 3 CP stratagem to attack again, which would be worth it for first strike and no prisoners. But let's see. So 11 attacks, hitting on 4s, because I'm -1 to hit, and no bonuses.
Effectively Thunder Hammers, aren't they?
Yeah.
So which pretty average.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. So slightly better than average. And wounding on 2s because Thunderhammer goodness.
And just Marines really. So
so 4.
Which is beyond the normal power armor guys. It's -3 or -2?
It's -3.
It's -3. So 6 up saves the normal power armor dudes. So 2 of them.
Only 2. So that's not.
Yeah.
I might have to go with them to attack again.
Yeah.
Are you wanting to interrupt?
I'm not going to interrupt now because I think they've been alright with the rest.
That's fine. So what can I get for? Am I getting first strike? Probably not.
Because the truck probably doesn't have enough attacks to kill them, and he's got a storm shield.
He's got a few attacks.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Yeah, we'll go after the.
Is the 3 CP at the end of the fight phase?
It's the end of the fight phase.
So I do get to hit one first. So I might kill
hold on. Well, let's double check that actually. We'll see if I can finish them off. Hold on.
If you charge, yeah.
Looking at it, the attacks for the Rock Grinder, he gets 6 plus D3. So an extra D3 on the turn he charges, an extra 3. So that's 9 attacks. He's only hitting on 4s though.
For a vehicle, that's pretty good.
Pretty good for a vehicle. Strength 9, AP -2. Wolf Leader's got 4 wounds. If I kill him, I get area denial.
You get first blood.
First strike, area denial, assassinate.
Just the 1 point for area denial, but still, yeah, worth it.
Or I can go after these guys, but I've less chance of killing them, I think.
Because you'd have to hit at least 5 times to kill them.
So let's go for the battle leader, actually. Just on the off chance that I mean, I'm unlikely to wipe these guys out. It's whether I want to reduce their firepower, but they can't shoot anyway this turn. So if I kill the battle leader, that scores me 3 points.
And he's also by far the most likely to kill you back. It's unlikely, but he could actually do it, whereas the others.
So let's go for the battle leader. He's not spending the CP to interrupt because I don't think it's worth it.
No, because I won't. I'm most certainly won't do that.
So can I roll good for these? Hitting on 4s.
Yeah, just below average, but not terrible.
Yep, only 5. It's not worth the CP reroll. I need to save my command points. Wounding on 2s. That is 3 wounds. Do I want to spend the CP on that? I've got 10 left. Do you know what? On the off chance I can do it, let's spend it. It's probably not the wisest. I really need to get this character that gets me CP back. So I'm down to 9 command points, and that is 4 wounds.
Okay, I've got 3 of them vulnerable saves.
If you could fail 2 of these, or 3 of these, please.
I do fail 2.
You do fail 2.
I re-roll one of those.
Oh, damn, because I've already used my CP reroll. I was thinking for the damage, so let's...
So I
Yeah,
tell you what,
so
I'm not going to die, but you do D3 to him.
So let's do D3
Keep him alive also.
damage. 2. That's 2. So he does take 2 wounds, so I think it was worth the risk. Cause
it was if I rolled back...
I wasn't going to wipe these guys out anyway, and I've taken 2 wounds off of him. So at least I've stopped 1 unit from shooting and 1 unit from assaulting.
Yep.
In this turn.
And then I get to fight back now.
Unless you kill the truck. So we'll do the fights back.
Yep.
We'll do these combats first, and then we'll come back to you with this one and whether I want to attack again, seeing how many he kills. So we'll come back to you with that.
Yep.
The combat here, the wolf guard, not the wolf guard. Grey Hunters actually managed to do a fair few wounds in here, but I kept making 6 up.
Feel no pain saves.
Feel no pain saves. The battle leader did get 2 wounds through with his power fist, but he only rolled a 1 for the damage in each, so I did take 2 wounds. We'll come back to you now with this combat. If you can kill off 1, might not be worth it for me to spend the C3P to attack again.
Yeah.
So we'll see what
So we've got
happens.
one guy with a chainsword.
That's
1 hit, yep. And then he's wounding on a toughness 4, aren't you?
Yes, I'm toughness
4.
4. They should be 5, and that fails to wound.
Failed to wound.
For me, at least
Guy
they
with
should
the
be 5.
power axe, 2s. And he's strength 5, so it's 3s to wound, re-rolling 1s because of the battle lead nearby. So that's 2 at -2, so that goes straight through your armour.
That goes straight through my armour, so that's 2 5-up bestial vigors. It's not worth it. I've used a lot of command points. It's not worth it for the +1. So, nope, re-roll the 1 because the icon ward's nearby. Nope.
The wounded one dies and 1 more takes a wound.
So the wounded one dies, another one takes a wound.
And the wolf guard, I've got it here. 2s, and he's strength 5 as well.
3s.
No.
They both fail. So I've got 3 to get through. Do you know what?
At least because the Terminator might actually gets a decent save, doesn't he? But
yeah. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 attacks hitting on. Oh, if only I'd brought the Primus rather than Icon Ward, I would have done a little bit. Do you know what? If I can kill them, I get first strike and I get no prisoners.
It's worth 2 points to you, so yeah.
It's worth 2 points. I think that's worth the C3CP, taking me down now to 6 command points, which I will probably all spend in my next turn
on turning up really close.
On demolitions, turning up close, and advancing the Genestealers, which means I'll have nothing left for charges. So this could go horribly wrong. If I don't kill this unit, then I'm going to be annoyed.
And if you leave the Terminator left alive, I may very well lone wolf him.
Yeah.
Because lone wolf is great.
So there is the risk of that. So let's... 3CP takes me down to 6. This could be a big mistake, but let's see. So 9 attacks, hitting on 4s.
Yep.
Really wish I'd put the Primus for them, now that I'm thinking about it. Again, same roll, 5s.
That's still not terrible, but it's...
And then 2s. Oh, and again I rolled double 1.
So 2 6-up saves on the power armor guys. I save 1 and then the last 6 up. So the 2 power armor guys go.
Again, I rolled 2 1s out of 4, 5. Sorry, that's not good. So it does leave the Terminator on a
so he will have a morale test, but I can do the lone wolfing at the end of the morale phase. It's ended at any phase, so I can wait to see if he runs away before lone wolfing him.
I thought it was the end of the phase in which
no, it's the end of any phase.
That's right. So unfortunately, I think those 3CP were wasted because I don't score no prisoners. Well, I might score no prisoners.
Depends if he runs, but he is a marine.
But I'm not going to score area denial or. But I am getting 1 point.
So he lost 5. He's leadership 8 because he's a veteran. So lost 5. So on a 3? 4 or more, he does care about it. He's fine.
He's fine. So
and then I will spend a command point to lone wolf him.
Taking you down to how many?
Down to 4.
4 CP.
But he makes him a character and he gives him 2 extra wins and he rerolls hits and wins.
So he gets the lone wolf. Unfortunately, that was a waste of quite a few command points in my turn for no effect. So I score secure objective 1 only. And I will discard... Let's discard... is it worth discarding Area Denial, I wonder? I'm either going to get rid of Area Denial or Defend 2. I think Defend 2 is unlikely. Ooh. So the end of Genestealer Cults turn 1, the score is 1 point to Genestealers, 0 to the Space Wolves. Oh, do you know what? In an ideal world, that plan would have worked, and I would. It was
very close. To be fair, you rolled a bit poor on the wound rolls there.
So out of
and I passed a couple of 6s.
Out of 10 hit rolls, wounding on a 2+, I rolled 4 1s.
Yeah.
In total.
No, 3. But I just passed 3 6-up saves.
I know 4 over the 2 rounds.
Oh yeah, no, so it's true. Yeah.
So over the 2 rounds combat, 10 2+, and I fail 4 of them.
And then I passed 3 6.
Yeah.
2 6-ups.
He passed quite a few 6-up armor saves as well. So statistically, that unit should have been dead. However,
should have gone as well, so
that's the way the game goes sometimes. Unfortunately, that did deny me quite a few points. It denied me first strike, no prisons. But at the moment, I'll take heart in that I am in the lead.
Yeah.
So
and I only get to draw 1 more card this turn, and
yep.
I'm probably like to do blood and guts, but not much else.
So we will come back to you with the cards drawn and the end, the movement phase for Space Wolves turn 2. Movement is done for the Space Wolves, so the Battle Leader and the Grey Hunters fell back from combat with the truck because they're cowardly Space Wolves that they are.
Yeah, no, definitely.
The Lone Wolf moved off away from the Aberrant, again, cowardly. The other Long Fangs readjusted, and then we brought in all the reserves.
So 1 unit of scouts.
Yeah, 1 unit of scouts. So Grey Hunters came off here. Next objective 2 away from
which
the
I got
truck.
Defend 2 as my 1 card that might pick for me. So
yes, sorry. The 2 objectives were Defend 2 and Big Game Hunter, and I figured I've at least got a chance to stop and Defend 2. Big Game Hunter, this is on 2 wounds. He's going to get it. And I've just been talking about all the command points I've wasted in my last turn when I need them. The Wolfen came back here. Unfortunately, moving these guys up was probably a mistake, but they would have been able to charge them anyway. So the Wolfen are 9 inches away from these guys and the mortars, so you can decide who to charge. Unit Terminators brought into the centre here, again 9 inches away from the mortars and the Acolyte Icon Ward and the Sentinel, so a range of charges. We've got a Rune Priest here. Yep. And your Wolf Lord.
Yeah, again, 9 from the truck, that, and the Sentinel.
Yeah, so he's got a range of charges as well. And we have a unit of scouts
who come over here with a melter gun.
Come over here next to Sentinel. So my backfield is only really the Wolfen.
Yeah,
but
you did do a reasonable job of that. But there was a bit of a space in the middle for the Terminators.
Might have to commit some reserves to come and take care of these. So this could be a pretty punishing turn for the Genestealer Cults, as we were discussing there. They really don't have... They need first turns, so then they only have 1 turn enemy firepower. But they really don't have the firepower to cause... As you saw, my shooting phase did 1 wound.
Yeah, unless you take a few rusts, but then obviously you have to sacrifice other stuff to do that.
And unfortunately, I wasted quite a few command points trying to get... Nearly killing. I should have done statistically, but also the truck should have died statistically. So at the moment, I'm 1 point in the lead. Depending on how the charges go...
Oh, I've got mission critical for 2, so I have got at least 1 point.
So he's got mission critical. He's got 1 point for that. If he gets his charges, then Blood and Guts is almost a certainty. If he gets... He could even get 3 points for that if he rolls well enough. But
if I make 1, hopefully I'll be able to get 1.
He's not getting Defend 1 this turn, he's not getting Defend 2, but he'll probably get it next turn unless I commit some units to take them out, which might be worth it. But then, if I do all my shenanigans next turn, I'm going to be out of command points for re-rolling charges. So I'm going to have to rely on a lot of 9-inch charges. So we'll come back to you with the Psychic phase.
Yep.
With the Psychic phase, this Rune Priest here is going to target Living Lightning into the Goliath truck there.
I might be able to arc it off because he's got 2 wings left.
Yep.
Goes off on a 7.
It does.
And you've got no one on the table to stop it yet, have you?
No one's available to stop it.
D3, 3 mortal wounds.
3 mortal wounds, I get my 6 up save. Can I roll awesome again and get 2 6s?
We shall see.
We shall see. No, I can't. So, can explode, but it makes no difference because no one's nearby.
No one's in range, no, but...
No one's close enough, but there are 10 guys inside. 3, 4, 5. 10 guys inside. Sorry about this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 guys inside. Let's see how many die, if any. Again, I keep rolling 1, so 3 die. We'll get that deployed and see if it arcs off.
Well, it will arc off, almost certainly to them. I mean, we can do that now because you've got to deploy within 3, so they're going to be the closest unit to where the truck was. So they're going to take an additional D3 mortal. So 3 die from the crash, and then another 3.
So that leaves me with 4 models left, so they're probably going to get wiped out with the shooting. We'll deploy them, and any more psychics after this?
Oh yeah, plenty more.
Okay, so we'll deploy them, come back to you with the rest of the psychic powers. My 2 flamers, my 2 shotguns deployed behind the building here, but they'll probably die to stormbolter fire from either the Rune Priest or the Terminators, perhaps.
So I think the Icon Ward is now the closest for his smite.
Yep.
Which is the way they got out. So 5 to cast, goes off on an 8.
Yep.
For
I can't block it.
3 mortal wounds. Their smites are going well.
Smites are going really well. Block them on a 6. 1, so I take 2 wounds with the Icon Ward. I believe that takes me down to 2 or 3, I'll need to check that, but he's taken 2 so far.
Then we'll go over here. He will also use his smite, so now it's a 6 to cast against the Aberrants. Goes off on an 8 as well.
If you're rolling all 3 here. Oh, come on! My smites had better roll this good. That is...
It does kill the wounded one, but
it does kill the wounded one. Yep, so 1 more dies. But damn, these smites have been effective. That's 9 mortal wounds with 3 smites. Or 3.
We're 12 in total because the lightning did 2 lots.
That's true. Yeah. Lightning did 2 lots of 3s.
Maximum.
Nice.
And then he will cast the cover bubble, which is an 8.
Yeah.
Just to help the other unit out. There's not much else he can do. Oh, it does perils.
He does peril.
Do you want to take that?
I mean, it'd be nice if you failed a power this turn, but other than that...
No, I'll take the D3 on myself. Give another 3. 2 this time. I mean, still 2.
Of course. So 2 wounds taken off him, and he's got the bubble. So that was a pretty effective psychic phase, I must say. If I can only hope that mine are as good as that.
Yeah.
We'll come back to you with what will be, I imagine, a plentiful shooting phase for the Space Wolves. Plentiful shooting phase for the Genestealer Cults. I don't think that's a sentence that's ever been uttered.
Yeah.
So we'll come back and see what forces I have left at the end of the shooting phase. So maybe you won't get blood and guts simply because there'll be nothing left.
Well, I'm hoping to leave 1 aberrant left alive to try and kick in the face, but we'll see. Depends how you roll and how I roll. So,
start the shooting phase. The scouts fired their melter gun at the Sentinel and managed to one-shot it after Chris rolled a 6 for damage. The Rune Priest fired at the Acolyte Icon Ward with his damage to Bolter. Managed to do 2 wounds and kill him as well. The Terminators are now going to fire at the Neophytes over here. Thanks to the Beta Bolter rules, they get 4 shots each at full range.
Yep.
So this could be painful.
So it's 3s to hit rolling 1s because the wolf is right next to them. So a couple of 1s there.
A couple of 2s. So I think this will probably still wipe them.
Yeah, because you don't start in cover.
No, and 3s to win.
3s.
I was actually thinking of going after the other creed that would give me a 3-up save in cover
against the Bolton.
But this
so that's 15.
15 wounds, and we'll do this off camera because I'll need to start taking cover saves after a few. So 15 wounds, probably a dead unit in Neophytes, but we'll see. Actually, the cover helped out a bit. I did lose 7 of the squad and the 3 remain, so they'll probably die to cover. But they're at least out of line of sight now. So, die to morale. So they're at least out of line of sight now. So nothing else can shoot them. So if I roll well for the morale, maybe if I roll a 1 or 2, I'll be okay. With that, we will come back. Well, I'd like to say that's the shooting phase over, but we've only just begun. And already there's some punishing firepower. So we'll come back with the rest of that, see what these long fangs can do. The anti-tank long fangs are going to fire in at the Goliath rock grinder, so we'll see what they can do with their missile launchers. Frag missiles, yeah?
No, funny enough, crap missiles. The bolt gun shots from the unit will go into the aberrants as well, but they only get to reroll ones to hit against the Goliath because that's the main target. So it's 2 missiles from the Cyclone and 2 more from the normal guys. So they're all yellow dice, and then 1 las cannon shot. So 3s to hit to rerolling 1s.
I mean, good thing it wasn't frags, because otherwise that would still be a ton of shots. You'd probably still finish them.
3s to wound, rerolling 1s because the battle leader. So
nope.
1 goes straight through, and 3 6-up saves.
3 6-up saves from their missile launchers, who don't live up to their name. Actually, not bad. So that's only 2 have gone through, so he could survive this.
6. He's got 7 left, so he will survive it.
6 damage. Let's see if I can roll a few more of those 6s. Another 1, so he takes 5, so that leaves him on 2 remaining, which isn't terrible.
And then we've got the Stormbolt from the Terminator gets 4 shots, and the 2 bolt gun guys get 2 each because they stood still into the aberrant. So 8 shots hitting on 3s with no rerolls on this. Well, that's where I needed the rerolls, you see, like on that unit.
Oh dear.
Yes, cry, how sad.
Forced to wound.
Forced to wound. I do reroll the 1 on that though. So 3 saves.
3 5-ups. No, 2, and Bestial Vigour is another 1, so I only take 1 wound from them, so that's not too bad. So we'll finish off the shooting from the Long Fangs and Grey Hunters, and then we will see what damage that's done, and then we can move on to the assault phase after this. Which hopefully there will be none. But I think it's unlikely. The unit of Grey Hunters here fired, overcharging their plasma cans at the Goliath Rock Grinder. Did manage to kill it, and then I actually managed to explode.
It's probably going to kill my character.
We will see. I'm down to 6 command points. I was wanting to use them all next turn for my stratagems. However, if I can kill the battle leader, I think that will give me Area Denial, which I can score at the end of any turn.
Ooh.
Will it though?
I'm not sure. We'll have to measure that.
We'll need to measure that. So maybe I want the command point reroll. So the battle leader, I need a 3+ to kill him. And of course I roll another 1. I was debating whether to reroll that, but reading the rules, it's the end of my turn I score Area Denial, so I don't think it's worth it. Managed to kill off another aberrant and put wound on 1 with the explosion, and managed to kill off 3 of the Grey Hunters here with the explosion. However, he did declare the assault cannon going into the aberrant, so he might be able to kill him off with this, which would stop him getting a blood and guts charge. So we'll roll up and see he's hitting on 3s still.
3s, yeah. No rerolls though because he wasn't the main target. No.
Only 3. Wounding on 3s.
Rerolling 1s. Hey.
Oh, okay. So
there were 2 bolt guns as well. I did do them. So last chance to mess it up. Come on, guys. Don't wound. Don't wound. You never will. Oh no, 2 wounds.
2 wounds.
Probably enough.
Yeah, Bestial Vigour. Oh, come on! Yes. The one time I don't want to do it, and he bloody saves it. Yeah. Oh well, so unfortunately the aberrant has survived, so I haven't killed the battle leader. Unfortunately, I needed a 3-up, and of course, I'm rolling a ton of 1s in this game when I shouldn't be. So there's a bit more shooting phase.
A lot of 1s and a lot of 6s.
A lot of 1s, a lot of 6s, which is not good.
Between.
So we've got 1 unit of these guys left to shoot. We're going to see what they're. I don't think they'll be shooting the aberrants. I don't know if they have line of sight. They don't have line of sight to anything else. So if he doesn't want to kill the aberrants, then they've got no shooting to do. And we will move on to the charge phase.
Yep.
In the charge phase, these Grey Hunters that Long Fangs that didn't shoot are going to charge the aberrant. That's enough to get in. I have no Overwatch fire. That's fine.
Wanted to save that for one of the reserve ones, but hey.
Over here, the Wolfen are going to declare a multi-charge on the mortars and the neophytes here. We'll do the Overwatch fire from the mortars off camera, but we'll roll to see if they get in.
So they need a 9, but they can re-roll it because they're Wolfen. So they'll re-roll that.
They re-roll it. Please fail. No, they make it in. So you going? Which one are you going after?
I'm probably going to go after the mortars. I'm more likely to kill them.
Okay, completely. So he's going to go after the mortar team. Are the Terminators going to go in as well?
Yep.
I don't get Overwatch fire. I will do it on the Wolfen, but
the Terminators don't make it in.
The Terminators don't make it in either. So the mortar team's probably going to die. That's going to give you 1 point at least for blood and guts, and 1 for mission crit 2. So that's a couple of points. You're not going to get the 3 for Blood and Guts, unfortunately, but you will probably kill 2 units. So we'll do the Overwatch fire, we'll move the chargers and come back with the fight phase.
Yep.
At the end of the fight phase, the Grey Hunters, the Long Fangs, did manage to take out the Aberrant, although I made quite a few Bestial Vigour saves, so it was a close run thing. The Wolfen chewed up the mortar team with ease, so they did take a single wound in Overwatch, which was quite nice. We'll do the morale test, so leadership 8, these guys lost 6 here, and they're gone. And over here, the Neophytes lost 7. So I still only lose 1 more, so that's not so bad, but I do lose my Flamers for going after these units. And now, at the end of his turn, he scores Blood and Guts.
Actually, on a 6, the Grey Hunters over there can fail from the explosion.
No, they do not. So at the end of his turn, he scores Mission Critical Objective 2 and Blood and Guts. He starts defending 2 over here.
Yeah, and I'm going to discard Defend 1.
And he's going to discard Defend 1. So that will take the points to 2 points to the Space Wolves, to 1 point for the Genestealer Cult. I think I'm pretty much going to have to bring in all my reserves next turn and hope I get some good charge rolls. He's still got his special Space Wolves Interceptor, which could prove problematic for my army, so we'll need to come back and see what cards I draw. I could get Area Denial if I kill that Battle Leader, although I don't know how I'm going to do that. No prisoners I would hope to get. If I don't get no prisoners,
things have gone very
I think this game's pretty much over. If I fail to kill a single unit, then I'm in big trouble with all my reserves. My cards on turn 2, I drew Secure 2 and Secure 6. Chris decided Secure 2 would be the one I'd go after because I'm currently pretty much sitting on 6. And he also went with Secure 1 over Blood and Guts because if I get into combat, I'll probably get Blood and Guts and no prisoners. I could even get multiples. Whereas 1 could be difficult because I'm going to have to either advance my unit over of Neophytes and hope to go onto it, although I do get +2 to my advance. So I think I need a 12 to get in. So
you're 14 and a half away, so you need to roll a 4 or more on the advance.
Yeah.
+2.
So I need to do well for the advance to get on that. So I can see that, try that. So I'll come back with my movement, and I think all my reserves are pretty much going to have to come in, because otherwise I can't risk leaving any off the board. I've got to go try and overwhelm them in terms of combats to do well here, so we'll see what happens. So the first unit of reserves I brought in are the Genestealers over here. They're hoping to go after this unit, because if I can secure Objective 2 with them and also stop Chris from defending them, that's a good point swing my way. I put them on this side because it keeps me out of line of sight of the Rune Priest and the Longfangs, who have got a special Auspex scan type stratagem that they can use to basically fire Overwatch anywhere on the table, similar to the Eldari stratagem, so I want to stop that from happening. I am going to spend Meticulous Uprising, so I'm going to spend, I've got 6 CP left, I'm going to spend it on 3 to move these guys up D6.
3 is it? I mean, it's good.
It's good, so that leaves me with 3. If I roll low, I might need a CPU reroll, but then that stops me using my demolition charges shenanigans. So this is going to be an interesting one. A 2. That's a 7-inch charge. You know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I might bring in some more units to give me a chance, but I would have liked a bit higher, but I'm okay with 7. So we'll move them up, and then I'll deploy the rest of my reserves. I brought the other unit of Genestealers in next to this as well, or to go after the characters up here, who are giving them all the rerolls. He did decide to spend, Chris decided to spend the 2 CP on his Auspex scan type stratagem. So he's going to roll now to see how much damage he can do. We'll do that off camera, and hopefully I'll have quite a few Genestealers left by the end of this, but we will see. Just a quick correction there, it was a perfect ambush was the stratagem I used for 3 CP on this unit to move them 2 inches closer. So I brought in the Genestealers, they got attacked by the Auspex scan type stratagem and I lost 6. to the heavy bolters, which was pretty damn effective. I also used lying in wait, I believe it is, to bring in this unit with the demolition charges 3 inches away. That takes me down to 1 command point, and I think I'll use my last one on the grenades to fire at the Rune Priest and a few other units to try and take them out. Brought in my reserves. The Primus with the extra range aura is over here, along with the Patriarch and the Magus. I brought in 2 units of Acolyte hybrids over here, another unit with the Magus over here, and another Primus over here to give them +1 to hit. And I was able to advance onto the objective. I rolled a 4, so I could advance. I'll get objective 1. Hopefully I'll get blood and guts. Oh no, I don't have blood and guts. Hopefully I should get no prisoners, by at least killing a few units. And if I can get this charge off with a unit or 2, I'll get secure 2. So that will put me a few points up, and I can hopefully make a bit of a dent in the enemy army, because otherwise I'm kind of in big trouble if I don't. So we'll come back with the psychic phase. I need to decide what psychics I'm doing and where my powers are going, and we'll come back with that. Starting off, I'm going to do mass hypnosis from this Magus onto this unit. That stops them firing Overwatch. They strike last in the fight phase, and they are -1 to hit as well. So they'll be just hitting on regular thanks to this +1. This is a 7 to cast, and it goes off in an 8.
I think I will try to deny that with that guy.
Yep.
It's out of range of the other.
The Rune Priest is going to attempt to deny it.
So he's rolling 9. No.
Nope, he fails to deny it. My other psychic powers, I'll just need to see what I've got. The Patriarch is going to cast Might from Beyond on the Genestealers here, so that gives them +1 strength and +1 attack. So I'm down below 10 models, so this will boost me back up. I need a 7 again, and I don't. I failed to cast that. And the final one is going to cast... Ooh, what's the leadership of your Ancient? Do you know?
8, I'm pretty sure.
I think mine's 8 as well. So
actually 9, because the banner gives you +1.
Oh, the banner gives you +1, so I don't know if it's worth Mental Onslaught. I'm just looking at my psychic powers here, what I have. I'm wondering if I'll probably just be better with a Smite, in all honesty.
Yep.
So Smite goes off on a 10.
He'll try and stop it because it's lost power.
Yep.
Nope, goes off.
He fails, so Smite does D3. It does 2. 2 mortal wounds on the banner guy, I believe.
So he's got 2 left.
Yep. So with that, I'll move on to my shooting phase and throw a ton of grenades and maybe even some pistol shots into them to see what I can do. Shooting phase, I'm going to spend my last command point on extra explosives. I'm going to put the 4 demolition charges into the Rune Priest to try and kill him off. He's got an invuln save. And the rest of the grenades, the blasting charges, are going to go into the Wolfguard battle leader here. So, I should mention, for my Primus abilities, I did rerolls of 1 to wound against this unit here and this unit here. So if I can get into combat, I can hopefully take them out and grab some board control. So, for the demolition charges, I get 4d6 shots. That's 15. So we'll roll that up and see if I can kill off that Rune Priest.
That one.
Demolition charges, I did 7 wounds, and he fails enough to kill him. So that's the Rune Priest dead, and that's my first one for no prisoners. Roll up the blasting charges, see if I can kill off this battle leader as well, although that's less likely. Rest of the blasting charges, managed to put a single wound in at this wolf leader here. Over here, I fired my pistols at the long fangs, did no damage. Got a couple of wounds, but they were saved. A couple of wounds on these guys, they were saved. Pistols here actually managed to kill 1 of the squad over here. The last cannon from Sentinel actually managed to hit and wound this guy, but they rolled a 6 up for his armour, so he made it. So he'll probably die next turn. So with that done, shooting phase was okay, killed a Rune Priest, so I'm getting no prisoners, at least for 1 point. And let's roll up some charges now. We'll do the Overwatch off camera. So these guys, we'll start with the big one. The Genestealers are going to assault the squad here.
Blood Claws, yeah.
The Blood Claws, that is. So you get to do your Overwatch, and we'll roll up just now to see if I can make it in. So I need a 7, and I have no command points left. Oh, that was dropped. Keep that.
That's fine.
A 9, they're getting in. So we'll roll up the Overwatch, we'll roll up the rest of the charges, and we'll come back to you with where that leaves the battlefield now. Okay, so that was a complete disaster. After my first initial charge, not a single of my, 1, 2, 3, 4,
6 or
5,
7?
6.
Yeah, 6, yeah.
Not a single of my other 6 charges made it in.
I think your only saving grace was that my Overwatch was decidedly pathetic.
Yeah, he killed one of the Acolytes in Overwatch, but I don't want to be too pessimistic, but I think that's the game.
We'll see. It does depend what I draw, because you're still going to...
No, your next shooting phase is going to decimate my army. I have the armour and the toughness of tissue paper, so we'll do the one combat that made in, but realistically, I pretty much think that's the game done, because none of my combats made it in. I'm going to get rinsed next turn with Overwatch and combat, and if I have anything left at the end of turn 3, I will be pleasantly surprised. But we'll fight on, but I think most viewers can probably realistically call...
You did need to tie up at least one of those two. Really.
I needed to get into combat with a few units, but 7 charges and I rolled a single 9.
The one you needed a 7 as well.
And I needed a 7, which none of my other charges made in, and I'd spent all my command points. So we'll do this combat. Hopefully that will be the end of them, but I think that is pretty much the end of the Genestealers as well. So to add insult to injury, he decided to heroically intervene with 3 of the units here. The characters, you'll probably take out the grenade guys as well, but I mean that was their job. Although, in saying that, I probably should have left the Rune Priest and just gone after the squads, because I could at least take out their firepower, whereas now I've killed a single Rune Priest who, admittedly, given how you've been rolling smites, could do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Sorry, I almost swore there, it was getting to me. So that squad's probably dead. Kill this squad, but after this, I think we'll call it on turn 3 for the Space Wolves. We'll see how I get on, but I think that's the game over.
It really does depend on the cards, though, because at the points you're going to be a couple ahead this turn, and I might...
Only 1. I'm going to be 1 ahead at the end of this turn, 1 or 2, so we'll see, but we'll roll up these combats, and then we'll come back to you with the score at the end of the turn. Things looking up a little. The Genestealers, as expected, did wipe out the Blood Claws, so I will hold that objective and stop you from defending it. Combat over here, because I got to attack first and I'm strength 5 because of my cult creed, I actually managed to wipe out both characters.
Two of the 3, yeah.
Whereas I didn't attack the Terminator because I thought I've little chance of getting through his armour, but he managed to kill 2 in reply, so I'll be safe from morale. So a bit better there. So at the end of my turn, I will score Secure Objective 1, Secure Objective 2, and I'll get D3 for no prisoners. So if I can roll well here...
3 points.
3. So that takes me up to 6 points.
6 in total.
So at the end of turn 2, things are looking up a little. It's 6 points for the Genestealer Cults and 1?
Or 2 for the Space Wolves.
2 for the Wolves. So I'm 4 points ahead at the end of this turn. I think I will discard Area Denial because I don't think I'm getting that. But as I said, this is going to be quite a brutal 3rd turn, I believe, for the Space Wolves, because my plan to... Actually, if I can do... With my pile-in move, I could have moved to engage this unit, but as Chris pointed out, he will get his attacks back and will probably kill me, and then morale will be an issue. So even if I stop them shooting, I'm not sure it's worth it. Actually, well, no, if I fall from morale, you'll get to shoot anyway.
You know what, leadership 8, if I kill another 4 or 5, you'll probably go.
So I think I'll just leave it at that. So with a few points ahead, we'll see how brutal the Space Wolves turn 3 is. We'll come back with the objectives drawn. Objectives for the Space Wolves in turn 3, he drew Secure 3 and Supremacy. I'll take Secure 3, which you'll get, but he was definitely getting D3 for Supremacy. Defend 5 and Unleash the Wolves. Either make 2 charges or defend 5. 5's over here. and I imagine once these guys go, there'll be nothing left. So I'll go Unleash the Wolves. He's going to get 2 charges, but at least then he only gets 1 point as opposed to 2. Kingslayer and Psychological Warfare, he'll definitely get Psychological. He might get Kingslayer, but not this turn. And he has Defend 2 as well, which he's going to be unlikely to get anytime soon. So that is the 4 objectives. We'll do the movement phase and the psychic phase, and we'll come back and see what they get. Space Wolves movement phase. The scouts and the surviving Grey Hunters here move back towards my acolytes. Did these guys move back?
No, Longfangs stayed.
No, Longfangs stayed still, and the Terminator stayed in combat over here. The damaged Wolfguard battle leader on 1 wound moved up. The Terminators and the Rune Priest and the Wolf Lord moving towards my acolytes over here, whereas the Wolfen managed a great 6-inch advance, because they can advance and charge, towards my Neophytes over here. I thought he was going for the Sentinel, but no, these Wolf Scouts have popped in here to go after this pesky Sentinel, which has been so effective in this game so far. So with that, we'll move on to the Psychic phase, with 1 Psyker remaining. What's he going to do?
He's going to cast the Fury of the Wolf Spirit on himself, isn't it? It has to be himself, yeah.
Okay.
So it's a 7 to cast. Does not go off, that's alright.
You any CP left?
I'm not going to use it on that.
Yep, that's fine.
And then he will do Smite, because he's the cast on the Acolytes, unfortunately. So
8. I may as well attempt to deny it.
Yeah.
I've got the Magus here, or I could use the Squad thanks to the special rules, but it does not matter. And that's an 8, so it still goes off. So it goes off for
1 Acolyte.
only 1 this time. So that's 1 will die. With the Psychic phase, we will start with the Shooting phase, and we'll see how much devastation this can cause for the Space Wolves on turn 3. Shooting phase started with the Scouts firing into the Sentinel. All the plasma guns, 3 of them missed, but only the plasma gun hit, taking 4 wounds from the Sentinels. The bolt pistols couldn't finish it off. On the other side, these 2 Grey Hunters in the crater fired at the 2 Neophytes holding the objective. As you can see, they're dead. The Wolf Scouts fired at the closest unit acolytes. Some really poor wound rolls, so only 2 of them fall. So not too bad for me. The Terminators, I assume, are going to fire at the Sentinel.
No.
No. They're going to go into the acolytes here and attempt to take them off. So hitting on 3s, rerolling the 1s. So that's
19 hits.
Nah, 19 hits, so
3s to wound. No re-rolls, but
probably won't need them.
Hopefully won't need them. It's a reasonable number of fails. But
yeah, it's probably enough to take me out.
12 saves.
So 12 saves, 5 up.
8 left.
So
we've got 1 left.
Not bad actually. So, no.
Because I already killed 2.
Oh yeah, you already killed 2, so there's 1 remaining. We'll leave 1 guy. So pretty effective shooting there, but remove it closer so that the Magus can stay safe for the moment.
Yep.
From the firepower. And we'll do the rest of the firepower and see what I've got left at the end of this turn. So we've still got 3 units of Longfangs left to fire. We'll see where they target and how effective they're going to be. Rest of the firepower, the Longfangs here split their fire at the Acolytes and the Genestealers. Managed to kill 4 of the Acolytes with the massed frag missile fire. The Plasma Squad also fired into the Genestealers, managed to take it to all but 1 remaining. The final squad, the Longfangs, are going to split their firepower. They're going to put the Heavy Bolters into 1 unit of Acolytes, the Assault Cannon into another unit, and the Bolters into the final guy over here. So we'll do this firepower. Remember, you're at -1 to hit.
Yep, so the bolt gun at the Acolyte on 4s. He did stay still. No.
Misses.
The Heavy Bolters are the bit that's re-rolling 1s. So 4s to hit, re-rolling 1s. So a re-roll. And 3s to wound, re-rolling 1s because of the battle leader. So 4 at -1 on the 6 unit of Acolytes.
So I need 6s. And I get none, so that's 4 more die. So we'll take those 4. If I do pass the morale, I've got the cutters left.
Yeah, and then the assault cannon into this unit.
Hitting on 4s.
No reroll, unfortunately. And 2s to wound, because it's a strength 6, with a reroll on the 1.
Yep.
2 more 6-ups.
And 1 save, so that takes me 1 of that squad dies. I think they were over there. We'll move them in. Okay, so... Oh no, we've still got the Rune Priest left to shoot.
Yeah.
So he's going to fire in at the last Acolyte, I imagine.
You can't shoot the Magus now.
Yep.
What else to do? 3s. It's not within 6, it's not rerolling ones. 3s to wound. 1 at -1, so 6
Okay,
up
so
save.
1 6-up save. And he's good. He survives. So that's fine. So that is the shooting phase. Pretty effective. He managed to whittle down these Acolytes a fair bit. Took a good number of the Genestealers, but I will survive morale thanks to the Patriarch being nearby. And now we come into charges. So imagine...
Importantly, I didn't touch the bigger unit over there.
Yes, so I've still got 15 Genestealers here survived. And we have a few charges coming in here, imagine. Maybe 1 over here, if again. And possibly a few more over here. So we'll see what the chargers can do and what I've got left after this turn, which probably won't be a huge amount, but might be enough to cause some chaos.
Well, 15 Steelers can make a big mess.
15 Steelers can make a bit of a mess, that's true. Scouts attempted a charge in the Sentinel, re-rolling thanks to the nearby Wolven. They failed. The Wolven made it in quite easily to the Neophytes. The Wolf Lord and Terminators both failed to charge the the Magus and the remaining Acolyte, although they didn't suffer any damage to Overwatch. As you can see, the Rune Priest did make it in. Over here, we got multiple charges on the Acolyte unit, who are probably dead by now, and I actually managed to make a couple of charges on the Acolyte unit here as well. So depends on how good my morale is, if any can survive. So we'll do some combats. We'll start over here with the Rune Priest. I've got no command points left, so there's no interruption. Rune Priest is going to go...
He's going to go everything into the Acolyte, because although he would like to try and kill the Magus, the Acolyte's actually probably more dangerous in terms of the combat ability, because he's got 2 up save and the staff is less likely to ruin his day.
That's fine.
So 2s to hit, because he's a Space Wolf, and he's strength 4, so he needs 3s to kill the Acolyte, basically. So he does.
And the Acolyte is dead, but I will get to attack back with my Primus.
Magus, yeah.
Magus. Okay, we'll do the rest of the combats off camera and come back to you with the results. Rest of the combats, this Acolyte squad here died. My Magus attacked back, doing 1 wound on the Rune Priest, which was saved. We haven't removed the models yet, but basically 8 of these guys died, so the rest are probably going to flee from morale. Over here, actually, managed to kill off all but 1 of the Acolytes, who managed to kill off the Grey Hunters with his drill. Both attacks hit, both wounded, and then I was able to roll a 2+ to do a mortal wound on the Terminator. So we'll come to morale. These guys over here lost 8. So if I roll a 1, 1 survives. No. I do. So 1 survives. The drill guy's going to flee because he's basically got nothing left. The 2 guys over, the 2 Neophytes, yeah, they flee as well. And I think that's on morale. The Genestealers will pass because of their proximity to the Primus.
Genestealers, it's Genestealer.
Genestealer. So, not pretty effective actually. My Acolytes have pretty much been neutered without doing anything whatsoever, which is rather disappointing. But I do have a big unit of 15 Genestealers and some characters left to do some damage. So at the end of the turn...
Don't forget
the Mighty Sentinel, who's done bugger all so far. So at the end of this turn, he will score Secure Objective 3 for 1 point.
Yep.
He will also get Unleash the Wolves. Do you want to discard Kingslayer or Defend 2?
We'll discard Defend 2 at this point.
Yeah, that makes sense. So that takes it to 4 points for the Space Wolves, 6 points for the Genestealers. Let's see. Hopefully I'll be able to tie up this back flank, but then there's still quite a number of units sitting around that can cause me some problems. So it'll all depend on what cards I draw, and if I can suicide the game to end it early and score enough points to win. So we'll come back to the cards drawn, and then I can do my movement to see how much of this I can take out before the rest of the might of the Space Wolves deals with me. Not a great set of objectives for me, so I drew the first one, Psychological Warfare or Defend 4, and Chris decided to give me Defend 4, which is over here, with the wolfing beside it, so I'm unlikely to get that. Mission Critical or Secure 3, since I'm only on 2 objectives, he decided to risk it on Mission Critical, and I rolled a 1, which again I'm not going to get to easily. Defend 1, Secure 5, he picked Secure 5?
Secure 5 because
he picked Secure 5 because the Terminators are sat on it. And Secure 4, Kingslayer, he chose Kingslayer. So, in all honesty, I don't think I'm scoring any of these this turn, which means probably at the end of the turn we're going into 6 points to 4. Depending on what the cards we draw, how well I do this turn, what cards we draw for subsequent turns, we'll see how long we can stay in this. Movement phase, the Genestealers managed to advance 1 inch towards the unit here. The Magus fell back from combat to cast Mass Hypnosis on this Heavy Bolter unit again. Patriarch advanced onto the Longfangs here while the characters moved up. The Lone Cutter guy moved up as well, while the Primus moved up here, just advancing, not to really get anywhere.
He ran away from the wolf.
Yep, and the Lone Sentinel over here, who's really not going to do much at all of anything, but if he'll keep him still, he'll at least be able to shoot. So, let's go start with Mass Hypnosis on this Heavy Bolter unit. With a 9, that's definitely a cast. He's going to attempt to deny it with his rune.
Or am I going to leave it for something?
Priest? Well, there's nothing else in range you can deny.
24, isn't it?
It's 18.
Oh, I thought denies 24, but yeah, either way, it's not
range.
Yeah, it's only that one, so I might as well try.
No. So, this unit, more importantly, will not be able to fire Overwatch, which is rather good for me. The rest of my psychic powers, let's go with... So my other Magus is going to cast Might from Beyond on the Genestealers to give them +1 attack and strength. That's a casting value of 7, which he fails. And I'm also going to cast Mental Onslaught on the Lone Wolf over here on my Patriarch. So this is a casting value of 7. Oh, 6, sorry, which I also fail. Hoping to try and take him out with my psychic powers, but that has not failed. But at least I did get him to stop Overwatch. My shooting phase, may as well do that now while we're here. So we're going to put a needle pistol into the...
I'll just take the unit off.
Yeah, just take the unit off. Alright, no need to get cocky. Hits, and it fails to wound yet again on a 2+. Let's do the auto pistol. Hits. Wounds, that's 1 wound actually. Yeah, you fail this save. And the other Magus will fire at the closest unit. He hits. That's cocked, unfortunately. He doesn't wound, so that's my... Oh no, Sentinel! We've got the Sentinel. So if this hits and wounds, we've agreed we'll just take the scout unit off. He hits. He wounds. Let's. Yeah. I didn't specify, so we'll take 1 scout. So 1 scout.
If you want to take a second,
well, that Sentinel's paid for his 50 points. With that done, this is going to be a hell of a quick turn. We will do the charges for the Genestealers and the Patriarch, and we will come back to you with any Overwatch casualties. Start the shooting phase. The Magus charged in here, soaking up the Overwatch. Allowing the Primus and the Genestealer to come in as well. The Patriarch is going to attempt to assault this unit. We'll get the Overwatch on camera. Not everyone can see, so 1 las cannon, 1 missile launcher, and the 2 bolters can go into him.
Yep, so the las cannon. Nope. The missile launcher. Hits.
Does hit.
It's 3 to win him, isn't it? Because he's a big beastie.
He fails to win.
I don't know if the squad's within 6.
They are not.
They're not quite within 6.
So no, that fails, fortunately.
And the
2 bolters. That could have been messy indeed. And he's automatically in, so that's fine. And we'll do the rest of our charges, see how far we get on. The Overwatch fire, 2 of the Genestealers did die, but then I rolled enough for charge to tie up the 3 units. I think he does have 2 CP left, so I think I'll start with the Genestealers. In case they cause any damage. Even if he goes after the Patriarch, not everyone can attack him, and he's toughness 7 now I think, and 7 wounds, so sorry, toughness 6, 7 wounds, so he should be okay. We'll start off with the Genestealers, we'll count up their attacks and come back to you. They do get +1 to hit thanks to the proximity of most of the buffing characters. So we'll roll up, split my attacks, roll up and see how we get on. Genestealer struck, as you can see, wiped out one Longfang squad. Actually, some brilliant rolling, or should I say some terrible saves from Chris, saw the Lone Wolf die after he didn't make a single save out of 5 wounds. 2 more were able to attack this unit of Longfangs here. However, due to my rolling, 8 attacks, I rolled 6 ones. So only 2 attacks, 1 wound got through, only 1 it was saved. He is going to spend his last 2 CP to interrupt here, with hopes that his Power Fist will kill off the Primus, and they can kill off the last Genestealer with the guys here.
Yeah.
So we're going to do the combats here, do the rest of the combats, and then we'll see how I've done at the end of this turn, where I'm scoring no points, I believe. Combat here, the lone Genestealer was slain by the Longfangs. The Sergeant was able to put 2 wounds on the Primus. The Terminator was then able to hit and wound the Primus twice, but I was able to use Unquestioning Loyalty to kill off 2 Genestealers to leave him surviving. We're now going to do the Patriarch into the Longfangs over here. He's got 7 attacks thanks to his Relic, hitting on 2s. Yep. And then Strength 7, so wounding on 3s with rerolls. 6s are auto-killing them.
Bad,
yeah.
Try again.
Just as well I have rerolls. So that is 1 dies and 3 minus 3.
Minus 3, so there is enough power armor for this, so 6 ups on the power armor, so 4 of the power armor guys die.
So 4, so not even with rerolls, not amazing. And let's see if my cutter can finish them off. Hitting on 2s, thanks to the nearby Patriarch. That is 2 hits, wounding on 2s, thanks to my strength bonuses and my... That is 1 wound, only 1 wound. Minus 3.
So 6 up on the power armor guy.
Nope, so it does leave a lone Terminator remaining.
Who will, basically will just kill the Acolyte because he can't reach the Patriarch.
Well, he'll attempt to do so.
He will kill the...
You don't have a Power Fist.
He's got a Chain Fist.
Can he take?
Yeah, you can take Chain Fist on.
Oh, okay. I thought the Stormbolt were replaced. No, I was thinking something else.
It's Cyclone. So hits twice, 2s to make him very dead. He dead.
And he's very dead. So that is a dead guy. Terminators. I need to do the rest of my attacks back with these guys. I don't think I'm going to wipe them out because I simply don't have the attacks or the strength to do so. But we'll see how I get on. Primus actually did quite good in combat there, managed to kill 4 of the Marines, whereas the Magus just looked on and did nothing. 2 wounds, but they were both saved. Unfortunately, I thought I'd wipe out this unit with the Primus, but even with wounding on 3s with rerolls, I still managed to fail 3 of them.
You still might go on morale at least.
Yeah, morale could kill him. Unlikely, but it could. Over here, the Wolfguard killed another 3, but I'm in range of my Patriarch, so no morale required, so... Unfortunately, at the end of my turn, that doesn't really help. I wipe out a couple of units, but I don't score any points, and I will discard Kingslayer. Let's see, morale has any effect?
He lost 5, so he's leadership 8, so on a 3 or less he's okay. With a reroll for being a Space Marine?
No, well. Double 6, he goes. These guys survive, but these need a morale.
So they're okay on a 4 or less.
Yeah, they're fine, so they pass. And the others... 1 unit here, please. So at the end of that turn, end of turn 3, I don't score any objectives, but I'm still in the lead 6 points to 4 for the moment. We will do the cards for Space Wolf's turn 4. So I was a bit pessimistic in turn 2. I'll probably survive to turn 4 rather than turn 3 this time. We'll do the cards, see what the scores are like, and see how much of an army I have left, because there's not really much left here. We'll come back to you with that. Cards drawn, Chris had Kingslayer, he drew Defense 6 and stuff of Sagas. He's going to get... Defense 6 is possible, it's over here, so I think I'll give him Defense 6 because he's not getting it this turn, whereas you'll probably get stuff of Sagas for killing a vehicle, certainly kill that with his scouts. Secure 4, Overwhelming Firepower. He's going to get both either way, but I think I'll give him Secure 4 because then his Wolfen have to stick on it if he wants to get it. He's probably getting Overwhelming Firepower. He could even get the 3 potentially, so I'd rather not risk the D3. And then assassinate and secure 2. He might not be able to get secure 2, he'll probably get assassinate because 2 is a bit out of the way. So for turn 4 we're looking at Kingslayer, defend 6, secure 4 and secure 2. Once again the cowardly Space Wolves fall back from combat.
It's called a tactical withdrawal.
It's called cowardice. Because the dice hate me and I can't roll a high advance, Chris got a 6-inch advance to move his Rune Priest onto the objective. He also got a 6-inch advance with the Wolfen, although they're staying in the objective. The Terminators moved up along with the Wolf Lord, and the Scouts moved up to finish off the Sentinel, whereas the Scouts over here also moved up to add their firepower. So, Psychic Phase, what are we going for?
We will try and do, so I think the closest unit is still the Magus, so we'll try and do Smite on the
okay.
Magus.
Do a Smite.
With
an 8, may as well try and block this.
You've got 2 attempts.
Nope, that fails.
Only 2 this time.
Only 2 mortal wounds this time, so the Magus takes 2 mortal wounds. And what else are we going on with?
We could try and Living Lightning him. I kind of want to charge with the Wolf Lord, but to be honest, it doesn't make much difference. So, Living Lightning goes off on a 6. It's a 6 to cast. So
I can't block, I can only block once.
I reckon he's in range to block.
Oh yeah, sorry, the other
Yeah,
the other guy's in range, so what was that, 6?
6 to 7. Stops
yes, blocks it for once, that never happens.
It means he's just going to get Wolf Lord in.
Yeah, it means he's just going to charge with it. So that's the Psychic Phase. We will start with the Shooting Phase then.
Right, we'll do the big thing first, which is the Terminator's going to open up everything into the Genestealers.
Yep.
Because with beta ultra rules and the fact they're cheaper now, they used to be just 2 overpriced. They're still not amazing, but they are.
I haven't found the Terminators to do much use with new rules. Bikers have gotten a lot better with the new rules. Certainly. When you roll like that.
Ones.
I mean, don't think it's going to make any odds, but it might help me a little. Wounding on 4s.
4s to wound, yep. That's not so great. Just the 6.
Okay, only 6, but you've got plenty more firepower. Well, actually, 3 die.
Yeah.
That'll take 3. That's 5 left. We'll see.
So we've got the Scouts.
So we'll do the rest of the shooting and come back to you with what's left alive. Rest of the shooting took down the Genestealers unit to 3. The Scouts managed to finish off the Sentinel, but they did lose one of their own to an overcharged plasma gun. So with that, we'll just come into the assaults. I don't think there'll be many this turn. Just the Wolf Lord.
Wolf Lord, yeah. Brings like a 5. Hopefully it's a 5.
Yeah,
it's easy.
And no damage to Overwatch.
And the Terminators will join him just to get up the field a bit more.
Yep.
9.
9 is more than sufficient to get up. Yes. How come you can make a 9-inch charge?
To be fair, both of them failed it last turn, but yes, no.
Yeah, you didn't really need that. Are the Wolfen going to charge, or are they...
they'll stay on the objective,
no.
I think.
So, we'll do the combat here. Probably won't need to do much. Let's do the Wolf Lord.
Yeah. So he gets 6 attacks with his mighty combination of stuff. With the Thunderhammer. Hits on 2 still, because he's a Wolf Lord. So 6 hits. 2's to wound, and you don't have anyone to hide behind.
Yep.
So that's 18 damage.
Dead Magus. So the Magus dies. That's the end of the turn. No morale required because my Genestealers are in range. They'll move up the board a little bit. So at the end of the turn, do you score anything?
I score secure 4 and secure 2 because I made that good advance.
Yep.
And I would discard defense 6.
Yep. So that takes us to 6 points, all going into turn 4 for the Genestealer Cult. Let's see what cards I can draw. Although I'll be very lucky to get any of these in my turn. We'll see what I get. So my turn 4, I drew Supremacy and Secure 3, and he very kindly decided to give me Supremacy, which I don't know if I can actually achieve. I don't think I can.
Spread out.
Yeah, you're too spread out, so I'm not going to be able to get any points this turn. Let's just see how much damage I can do to the Space Wolves before I get taken out. So with the game effectively over, I decided I'll just converge on the units over here. Yeah, I can go for the Warlord, try and do some damage to the Terminators. So moving what's left of my army up to face them. we'll start with the psychic phase. We'll go for the Magus, we'll go for a smite, which he gets on an 8.
Is he closer to that guy, or it's equal distance? It's your choice.
Yeah, I'll
so
go
do you
for
want
the
to kill
Warlord.
him definitely, or
No, I'll go for the Warlord.
Cool. I'll try and start that because it's a 6. No,
Nope.
It's off.
So that goes off. We get D3 mortal wounds. 1, of course. Of course. And now we're going to attempt mental onslaught on your Warlord with my Patriarch.
Yep.
And of course that fails. The one chance I had to do some damage, that actually fails. So we'll do this shooting phase off camera because there's like 2 of them. And then we will do the assaults. In the charge phase, everyone went into the Wolf Lord. The Rune Priest was able to heroically intervene. And the Magus went in here because there was no more room and he was going to get heroically intervened anyway. So we will start with the Patriarch. We'll go hopefully kill your Wolf Lord. We'll see. Hitting on 2s, 7 attacks, hitting on 2s. Stop rolling 1s like that. And wounding on 3s, or 2, sorry. Wounding on, no, I'm strength 7. So wounding on 3s, but that is 5 wounds.
And 2 of them are flat 4.
Yes, 2 of them are flat 4 damage.
We'll do them first. So 2 4 vulnerables against those. So you passes both of those.
Damn it.
Then 3 4 vulnerables on the D3 plus 1s. So it does affect 6. You got they're 2 damage in them, aren't they?
Yeah, 2 damage. So yeah, that gets me Warlord. I forgot all about that. So that gets me that. I can't attack with anyone else because I didn't declare them.
Maybe
but the Magus, try to take the last wound off the Wolfguard guy. 3 hits, 3s again, 2 wounds.
Shields. No,
He's fine. So we'll do the attacks back and see what we get. With the attack backs, the Magus fell. The Rune Priest only managed to do a single wound, but I managed to save it. So at the end of my turn, I do not score any of these points, and I'll discard Supremacy for all the good it will do me. So we actually managed to go into turn 5, and
got 7 6 up.
Yeah.
Because you get Warlord for 1.
I do get, so that's right, I get a point for Warlord. So that takes me to 7 points to 6. So we just call the game there? just a wee safety note when you're building these runes. I wish I wouldn't have built them with all these little spikes, because the amount of times I cut my arms on these is horrendous. I'm actually covered in scratches from leaning over these. So with that, we'll go into what... I've said this for the last 3 turns, but probably the final turn for the Space Wolves.
Unless your pessimism might finally come to...
Unless he draws a horrendous set of cards, he's going to score.
I've got Kingslayer, so as long as I can kill the Patriarch, I'm probably alright.
So we'll go on, see what objectives are drawn and which ones I choose. So possibly the worst set of cards he could have drawn for me, at least. Kingslayer, he has Secure 1, Secure 5. I'll go for Secure 1 because he's not getting it. Witch Hunter or Area Denial, he's probably getting either, but let's go for Witch Hunter because that'll only score you 1. And Master the Warp or Behind Enemy Lines, he's probably getting both, but at least with Master the Warp, he's a chance to fail. Or I can deny it.
I can only get 1 because I...
Yeah, so let's do Master the Warp. So that gives you Kingslayer, Secure 1, Witch Hunter, and Master the Warp. If you get Kingslayer, you're getting Witch Hunter, and you have the potential to get Master the Warp. So we'll see what happens at the end of turn 5. End of the movement phase, the Wolfen advanced to move up. The Terminators moved round. The Rune Priest for once stayed in combat. That's not like the Space Wolves. The Scouts moved up to Meltagun the Patriarch on the back of the head, and this unit pretty much stayed as is. So we'll go straight into the Psychic phase to see if you can score Master the Warp.
So I'll begin with Smite, which goes off on a 6.
I may as well try and deny that because I think you'll roll higher. And a 7, I deny it.
So Living Lightning then, to try and finish off the last of the Genestealers. Does go off.
Does go off.
I do need to roll a 3 now to kill them all though. Which I do.
Of course. Oh, come on, have you rolled less than 3?
I rolled 1 2.
Oh, ridiculous.
Which means it arcs to the
Primus?
Primus, yeah. And does 3 wounds to him as well.
Another 3, bloody hell. So, yeah. 3 dead Genestealers, and now that opens up my units for the shooting. So we'll go into the shooting phase, see if anything's left standing for the assault phase. Scouts fired in at the Patriarch, hitting but failing to wound with the melter gun. The bolters did 1 wound. The rest of the firepower from the Rune Priest, the Wolfguard Battle Leader, and the Long Fang's remnants over here managed to kill the 2 of the Primus. And the last unit to shoot will be the Terminators, who are firing everything into the Patriarch to see if they can kill him off.
So 3's to hit, no rerolls left because the Wolf Lord is gone.
That's a good number of hits though. You there need 5s to wound though.
Yeah.
Because I'm up to toughness 7.
Do reroll 1s with the Battle Leader, but it's still 5s, yeah. So it's not going to kill him quite, I don't think it's 4 wounds.
4 wounds, 4 up armour.
Takes another
1, so he's taken 2 wounds, he's down to 5 now I believe. So with that, that's your turn over. I wish. So we're going to see some charges now into the Patriarch. So who's going first?
You've got no Overwatch, have you?
Doesn't matter.
So we'll do him. Yeah, he's definitely
in. Wolf Lord's in.
The Rune Priest
sorry.
Rune Priest is not in.
Rune Priest fails on a double 1.
And the Termies, 11.
Terminators get in. The Wolfen?
Yeah, we'll do the Wolfen. With a reroll.
With a 4, that was a fail.
6,
6 is probably enough to get in. We will check that.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's enough. So,
might not be all.
We'll do the Patriarch. So, unless I get incredibly lucky, it looks to be a tabling here, and we'll count up the victory points. So, who do you want to roll first?
We'll do the Terminators first, because they don't normally get to hit that much. So do the normal power fist first.
I can take you all. I've got 5 wounds left.
8 attacks from the normal power fist, hitting on 3s because I'm Space Wolves. So 5 hits and toughness 6 or 7?
7.
3's to win still though.
Oh no, 6. Sorry, toughness 6.
3's rerolling 1s because the battle leader. So no, only 2.
Only 2, but it could be enough to kill him. 5 up in 1. No, it takes 1.
3. It takes 3.
Of course you take 3.
I mean, it probably wouldn't matter, but yes.
So I've got 2 wins remaining.
Yeah. And then the champion with the chain fist. It's 3 attacks. And 3s. We're on in the 1. So 3 wounds, they're all 2 damage, so any of these will just kill him.
Yeah, he's dead. So that is Warlord, and that is the game. That scores you D3 for Kingslayer, or is it flat
D3 for Kingslayer. So 2 for Kingslayer. Witch Hunter for 1, Master the Walk for 1, so that's 4 plus Warlord 5, and Linebreaker 6. So that makes the
12
final score 12 to 7.
12 to 7, and a tabling for the Genestealer Cults. So we'll call the game there. To Chris for a fun game.
Yeah, no, it's good.
I enjoyed it. It was quite decisive. I think some of the key points were, for me, well, not getting first turn, which hurts with the cult because I have to face all your reserves and 2 turns of shooting.
To be fair, I didn't get any points though, so you did get, as much as you get your first turn, you did get quite lucky because obviously no first strike on the truck because it just rolled all the 6s on the saves, and it meant I didn't score any of my. I think I scored any cards turn 1.
No, nothing.
So that was helpful, but yeah, it was still having my reserves arrive first and getting to do that.
Yeah,
stuff was helpful.
The second key point of the battle for me was not making out of 7 charges on my second turn. I made 1, which statistically I suppose was likely, but as we were discussing, just getting in 1 unit of acolytes
to tie up the long
fangs or even kill them would have made
them shooting
a big difference. As it was, you pretty much were able to shoot with your entire army against me, so that hurt. What it means is I really need to get I've got a few of the characters, the new buff characters. I'll certainly need to get the one that gives me +1 to my charge painted up to use.
Yeah, that seems really good.
So what I like, I tried out the Twisted Helix Cult Creed. I do like it. The +1, most of the acolytes going up to strength 5 is a big boost. Wounding against Marines on a 3 with the -1 for the claws is actually really effective.
What was the point when I sort of brought you back into the game for a turn when I heroically intervened, thinking, "Oh, this will be easy," and they just ate two of the characters.
Yeah, so that's good. The only other cult creed. This is my second game with the cult. The only other one I've tried is Cult of the Four-Armed Emperor. And there's reasons I like that is you get +1 to your charge, which when added to the character means that you're charging out reserve on a 7, which is pretty damn good. And you also get the Vect type stratagem. I think this army works a bit better with maybe some of the other characters as well, because the +1 strength is good. Don't get me wrong, that are pretty much army-wide, apart from the Genestealers, which I hate the fact they don't get them.
I do get the reasoning, because it's like it's the cult and they're like the leaders, but it does smack of just you don't want to take the Genestealers so much because they don't get the benefits. They're still good, but they suffer with the same problems as Genestealers do in Tyranids, except they're worse because they don't get the effective bonus.
I think the only one that would be utterly ridiculous is the +1 invuln.
Yeah, it's true. Having 4 up on all of them would just be rough.
Which is really... I don't get why... I like the fact that you get +1 to an invuln save, but it doesn't... It only affects one unit if they take the relic that gives them a 4-up invuln.
I mean, having a 6-up on your entire army is useful, but yeah, it's not really +1.
It's
not
just a
6-up.
Amazing. So I think that was there. I like this mission. Actually, getting to pick your opponent's cards is fun because you can really mess them up.
I did mention this to Mike at the start. The Genestealer strategy. I don't know if they're going to FAQ it or something, but at the moment it's quite good if he wanted to come up with other things. But if you spend the one that makes it secret for this one, when I choose, I think they have already FAQ'd actually, and they FAQ'd it this way. When he does the 2 cards and I choose one, if he's made them secret, I just choose randomly. So then there's a good chance I'm giving him a good one because I'm just 50-50ing a 2-card switch, which can make a big difference. But it depends if you want to use the command points on that. But I think it's probably worth it.
I normally do use that with my Dark Angels. It's a bit tricky to do with filming, but I probably will do it next time.
Yeah.
The other thing I did as well, which I'm realising, I did waste some of my command points. I don't think I needed the decoy scanners, because I was using the one that let me put more units in reserve, so I would have had an extra 3 anyway. So that would have saved my command point. I shouldn't have used the devoted crew on my truck, because moving it up did nothing. So with those 2 command points, I probably could have made at least one other charge.
Made one more charge.
Because I did roll quite high for my charge. I just couldn't roll a 9.
I think you rolled a couple of 6s and 1s or 5 and 2s, and obviously that makes it to the point where you're getting the re-roll on a 3 or a 4.
So, unfortunately, the one thing I couldn't do with my army, which Chris pointed out last time I played, I think my last written battle report I mentioned, a rule which I had completely missed in the Genestealer Cults is you can only take one of each character in a detachment.
The HQ ones, yeah.
The HQ ones, which I did not realise. So that means I wouldn't have been able to run a brigade with the 5 characters.
Because you need to...
Yeah.
You have to fit something else in.
I'd have to fit something else in. And based on what my army has at the moment, I would have had to take my Russ and my 3 Sentinels, which means I couldn't have run anything else.
I think that you're only down 1 command point on the brigade, right? Because 2 battalions in a vanguard is still 11, so it's only 1 command point down on the brigade.
So it's only 1 down.
It's not terrible to sacrifice that, I don't think.
What I need to do is add the characters, because getting the rolling to regain command points and the +1 to my charges. And what would have also been really helpful in this one was stopping your reserves from deploying within 12.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Would have helped significantly.
If he was round the back. He might not have been round the back.
He probably wouldn't have been, because I'd used them with my reserve units. Yeah. So, yeah, that was a fun game. I mean, it was pretty decisive in terms of the space rules.
To be fair, I was quite happy with the Wolfen, because that Wolfen loadout is not optimal at all. It's just the models I have. But against the Cult, it's actually...
It works really well.
They're just 10-man units of guardsmen. They just, absolutely shred. And they're pretty quick. Because although they're only movement 7, they can advance and charge with re-rolls to both advance and charge. So they can charge fairly easily 18+ inches a turn across a decent distance. So.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, I'll be adding more units to my Cult, because basically... I had to take, for 2,000 points with the points reductions, I had to take pretty much everything I had, apart from the Russ and 1 Sentinel. So I'm looking forward to getting a few more of the characters and bikes. Maybe some more Acolytes. If you can use that grenade stratagem 2 turns, Although I'm still working out how to do that. Most of the time they come in and I waste them on a single model. I think I might have been better in hindsight going after maybe splitting them between your 2 units of Longfangs.
Perhaps. Yeah, or just going for
Or
one. Probably
obliterating 1 unit of Longfangs. Because as much as the Rune Priest was annoying, I don't think he would have done as much as the unit of Longfangs were doing.
Exactly.
So I think in future, as I say, it's only my second game of the Codex. I need to figure out some of these things. But again, thanks to Chris for a fun game. We'll hopefully get him back with one of his various armies.
A few different ones,
Yeah, and thanks very much.